the most unanointed new God, the most unanointed new gods, a most unanointed new God, the most unanointed new goddess, the most unanointed new goddesses, a most unanointed new goddess, the most unanointed old God, the most unanointed old gods, a most unanointed old God, the most unanointed old goddess, the most unanointed old goddesses, a most unanointed old goddess, the most unanointed greater God, the most unanointed greater gods, a most unanointed greater God, the most unanointed greater goddess, the most unanointed greater goddesses, a most unanointed greater goddess, the most unanointed lesser God, the most unanointed lesser gods, a most unanointed lesser God, the most unanointed lesser goddess, the most unanointed lesser goddesses, a most unanointed lesser goddess, the most unanointed greater spirit, the most unanointed greater spirits, a most unanointed greater spirit, the most unanointed lesser spirit, the most unanointed lesser spirits, a most unanointed lesser spirit, the most unanointed major God, the most unanointed major gods, a most unanointed major God, the most unanointed major goddess, the most unanointed major goddesses, a most unanointed major goddess, the most unanointed minor God, the most unanointed minor gods, a most unanointed minor God, the most unanointed minor goddess, the most unanointed minor goddesses, a most unanointed minor goddess, the most unanointed superior God, the most unanointed superior gods, a most unanointed superior God, the most unanointed superior goddess, the most unanointed superior goddesses, a most unanointed superior goddess, the most unanointed inferior God, the most unanointed inferior gods, a most unanointed inferior God, the most unanointed inferior goddess, the most unanointed inferior goddesses, a most unanointed inferior goddess, the most unanointed ancestor God, the most unanointed ancestor gods, a most unanointed ancestor God, the most unanointed ancestor goddess, the most unanointed ancestor goddesses, a most unanointed ancestor goddess, the most unanointed ascendant God, the most unanointed ascendant gods, a most unanointed ascendant God, the most unanointed ascendant goddess, the most unanointed ascendant goddesses, a most unanointed ascendant goddess, the most unanointed descendant God, the most unanointed descendant gods, a most unanointed descendant God, the most unanointed descendant goddess, the most unanointed descendant goddesses, a most unanointed descendant goddess, the most unanointed transcendent God, the most unanointed transcendent gods, a most unanointed transcendent God, the most unanointed transcendent goddess, the most unanointed transcendent goddesses, a most unanointed transcendent goddess, the most unanointed future God, the most unanointed future gods, a most unanointed future God, the most unanointed future goddess, the most unanointed future goddesses, a most unanointed future goddess, the most unanointed present God, the most unanointed present gods, a most unanointed present God, the most unanointed present goddess, the most unanointed present goddesses, a most unanointed present goddess, the most unanointed past God, the most unanointed past gods, a most unanointed past God, the most unanointed past goddess, the most unanointed past goddesses, a most unanointed past goddess, the most unanointed God, the most unanointed gods, a most unanointed God, the most unanointed goddess, the most unanointed goddesses, a most unanointed goddess, the most unanointed half God, the most unanointed half gods, a most unanointed half God, the most unanointed half goddess, the most unanointed half goddesses, a most unanointed half goddess, the most unanointed vessel, the most unanointed vessels, a most unanointed vessel, the most unanointed person, the most unanointed persons, a most unanointed person, the most unanointed image, the most unanointed images, a most unanointed image, the most unanointed belief, the most unanointed beliefs, a most unanointed belief, the most unanointed thought, the most unanointed thoughts, a most unanointed thought, the most unanointed word, the most unanointed words, a most unanointed word, the most unanointed action, the most unanointed actions, a most unanointed action, the most unanointed situation, the most unanointed situations, a most unanointed situation, the most unanointed circumstance, the most unanointed circumstances, a most unanointed circumstance, the most unanointed relationship, the most unanointed relationships, a most unanointed relationship, the most unanointed number, the most unanointed numbers, a most unanointed number, the most unanointed formula, the most unanointed formulas, a most unanointed formula, the most unanointed symbol, the most unanointed symbols, a most unanointed symbol, the most unanointed color, the most unanointed colors, a most unanointed color, the most unanointed thing, the most unanointed things, a most unanointed thing, the most unanointed way, the most unanointed ways, a most unanointed way, the most unanointed place, the most unanointed places, a most unanointed place, the most unanointed time, the most unanointed times, a most unanointed time, the most unanointed event, the most unanointed events, a most unanointed event, the most unanointed result, the most unanointed results, a most unanointed result,